So shall we move from Strange New Worlds to Doctor Strange?
Oh, I see what you did there.
And go ahead.
Man.
We got spoilers all over this thing. So if you haven't seen, if you made it through Star Trek, thank you. Go enjoy the episodes.
Yes.
If you have not seen Doctor Strange yet, you're going to get spoiled.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about this, and I am going to make a bold statement that I've been making in our group chat.
And what is that?
We'll get there.
Okay. We're not going to start off with that statement yet.
No, let's just jump into. Go ahead.
I'm hoping I don't spoil what you're saying, but Evil Dead 4.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah, well, if you want to see Evil Dead 4, go see Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness.
My gosh, it was so Sam Raimi.
We're going to go ahead and get that pointer out of the way. Yes, everybody agrees.
Even had Bruce Campbell.
An evil book. An evil book, Bruce Campbell.
Possession.
Demons. Okay, so with that being said, spoilers from here on out. You've been warned. If you're hanging with us, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You're lost if you haven't seen it. Okay.
Undead Doctor Strange.
Oh,
Undead Doctor Strange looked like he's fresh off of one of his sets for Evil Dead.
And the camera work,
man.
Okay.
Yeah, let's go ahead. Let's kind of move this. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry.
Not a full movie. I
just want to get that out of the way. Evil Dead 4. Okay.
Yeah. This movie is straight up Evil Dead 4. You can't convince me otherwise, and you cannot convince me that hot dog vendor was Ash or that pizza ball vendor.
Pizza Papa.
That was
Pizza Papa.
Yeah, that was Ash Williams all over.
Well, that first opening 10 minutes of the movie in the mirror world, and then the whole opening battle, that's Spider-Man. That's Raimi's Spider-Man style. Like that whole time I was watching this, I was like, oh my God, this is like the same style of his Spider-Man. I mean, all over New York City buildings fighting. Come on.
Well, I mean,
as soon as you saw that, man, it was like we're just being reintroduced to Sam Raimi at that point.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I mean, giant octopus monster gets eyeball ripped out.
I'm trying to remember that character's name. He's big in the Marvel universe to some people. Like, I feel bad that I forgot his name, but I know he's like a lot of people like that character. So that was their first live action version of him.
And I fully admit this is where it goes off the rails for me completely from the comic books that I'm not familiar with the comics with Doctor Strange and this whole that's at this point.
Well, don't feel bad. Like let's go ahead and talk about the new character, America. I cannot think of her last name.
Yeah.
Chavez.
The movie opens up. We are diving right into action. As soon as first scene in the movie.
They're running. What are they running from? Then you find out.
I mean, she's a comic character that's been made up in the time frame of since the MCU's existence. She hasn't been around that long.
Oh yeah.
And
I know nothing
and
about
why does she look? I'm sure I wasn't the first person to think this, but the first time I saw her, I was like, "Cool, they're bringing Jubilee in." She's even got she's got the jacket, she's got the stars. I'm like, this is gonna be sweet, and it turns out she's somebody totally different.
Yeah.
So I was like, man, this is how they're gonna do the X-Men. This is gonna be sweet. We got Jubilee. It lines up with the animated show, where the animated show starts off with Jubilee. This is gonna be sweet. This is how they're gonna do it. And now we get
no, not Jubilee, America.
Yeah.
But like the young lady playing her, she was good. Like she is really good.
Yeah. She's I was gonna say this is kind of like the first major role for her, if I'm not mistaken, right? I don't know too much about her. I mean, other than just
I know nothing about her.
Introducing her into this movie. But I mean we get right off and rolling, and we're in this action sequence of this being chasing her in this version of Doctor Strange, which we were they come to find out, it's he wakes up from this after we've witnessed this Doctor Strange be murdered by this large demonic figure, whatever you want to call it. It's been chasing them.
It looked like a giant roll of Charmin on fire.
Interesting. I did
That's
not
what it looked like to me. It's like, oh, look, it's a fiery toilet paper monster.
Well, all right then.
Thanks, Brock. Now when I go see it again, that's all I'm going to be able to see now.
They defeat him with a roll of Preparation H.
Mr. Whipple in the Multiverse of Madness.
Oh Lord! Stop squeezing the Charmin.
Don't squeeze the demon.
And just sprinkle a little Sam Raimi on top, and that's all you need.
Oh my! Here we go. Here we go, everybody. Get ready for our review here.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyway, we see this. We see this Doctor Strange get impaled by this figure while he's trying to do what he feels is best for the multiverse and attempting to kill America right off the bat. But
and can we talk about how cool Defender Strange looks?
Oh, absolutely.
I love this look.
Yes, I love I love the
for him.
ponytail. I love this. Yes.
Well, not the ponytail. I like the long gray streaks going down the side.
Yeah.
That's a good look for him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and you know, didn't this kind of line up with the What If as well? I know that there was the What If version of it later in the movie, but just the fact that he was, willing to like take the powers.
I fully admit I've not watched any of Marvel's
I've got to watch What If now.
Marvel Zombies.
You need to at the very least watch the one on Doctor Strange.
Okay.
Yeah,
it's actually in this movie.
Okay.
Yeah, for the most part.
Yeah.
We see then we cut to the scene where we see our Doctor Strange as we know it waking up. He's getting ready to go, and we see that he is going to Christine's wedding. And this scene right here, and going back and viewing it, the second time around, kind of really made me more think about the emotional part in this scene where he comes in the wedding and he sits down and a gentleman sits down next to him. Well, it turns out that's Dr. West, who was in the first Doctor Strange movie, who is also the guy that plays Griff in Men in Black 3.
Yeah. I didn't remember him from the first Doctor Strange movie because I haven't seen that thing in forever.
Yeah.
And I was like, is that Griff?
Yeah.
Griff.
And it's
with a much deeper voice.
In this shot, that was in the first trailer, you see where, Christine's coming down the aisle and you see him in the audience there, but you don't quite catch who that is behind him until, we're watching this. And, he sits down and he's talking to him about it. It's kind of like, here's the thing and this is something that they've been like with the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. There's not really been a whole lot of, they're kind of touching on more topics of how the snap affected people.
Yeah.
And this is a really emotional scene. And I kind of realized this watching it. We went back to watch it for a second time this weekend. We had Dave, but he kind of starts out first about, the cat, and that kind of got a little bit of a chuckle,
2 cats.
But yes, 2 cats.
He lost 2 cats and a brother.
And the first time around, it kind of got a little chuckle from the viewing, from the audience, but then he talks about his brother. And then he's proceeding to, to talk to him about basically, did this have to be done this way?
Mm-hmm.
And, unfortunately it did. And you realize all these decisions that were being made, on Titan about this scenario with Thanos and how Doctor Strange had went through the timelines and he knew how it had to be played out, and him basically needing him to confirm to him there was no other way. This was the only way, right? And he's like, it was the only way. It's like, dude, we've been so focused on the heroes throughout this whole, this whole phase. But then it's kind of like with Captain and or Falcon and Winter Soldier. Mm-hmm. You don't think about the normal people.
Yep.
How did this play? Yeah. What did this effect play on their lives? Some of them were gone for 5 years, and in the 5 years, I didn't know realized they were gone that long.
Couldn't get along.
Yeah.
Well, and the thing is,
you see how this is affecting the average Joe, the everyday person, the innocent people who they were just living their lives on Earth, and this happened. People lost.
Tell me, I'm not the only person who's thought that. What if there was another way? And Doctor Strange just picked the optimal way. Like, what if there were 3 ways and he just picked the one that came with the best results that would suit everybody?
Yeah.
Because the thing is, he's really the only one who knows if there was that there was only one way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's saddled with potentially this guilt of like, well, no, I know there was another way.
Well, not necessarily. Maybe all he knew was that the first play that they had to let Thanos win that first time for them to win. wasn't on him. It took him 5 years to figure it out, So I'm just saying.
Yeah.
It's true. I just kind of always thought that, it's been hammered home that he went through all the scenarios and there was only one way. There's only one way to do it. But it's like
this also throws into the whole bag of worms now with this multiverse. Did he and the whole thing with dreamwalking and all this thing now? Did he see all the was the other scenarios what happened in the other universes?
Yes, that's kind of the way I think
Yeah. Well, I mean, what really, what made this scene a truly great standout to me is that it didn't just service the MCU and how normal people might feel about the Avengers. It's just it's kind of weird that I've kind of gotten off, but when you go back and watch it a second time, because the first time you're trying to catch everything, but then the second time you start really thinking like, dude, this thing's got a little more gravity to it.
Well, and it's interesting, like with America at the beginning, with Defender Strange trying to steal her powers and stuff, and everybody in every other universe is you find out it's really skeptical of Doctor Strange. Because it's like the one from our timeline is the good one, and all the other and the other ones, they kind of might have a little bit of shadiness to them.
Yeah. And this is something that
there's a lot of distrust in Doctor Strange.
And I don't know.
We'll find out. We will find this out. Yeah.
I don't know if it was just me. It was probably just me. But when we were, I say that, but when we were in the whole wedding scene where he was at the wedding and whatnot, I don't know why, but maybe it was just because I was half expecting to see something from Fantastic Four in this. I don't know why, but I kept thinking of the opening for Fantastic Four, where it starts with a wedding, and I was like, it was just for some reason when the very beginning of the movie we have a wedding. I'm like, it seems kind of like a parallel in a little way, but like I said, I'm grasping at straws. It's a totally different thing altogether. But it did kind of make me think of that as well.
Yeah. So this leads into Christine's wedding, and then there's the reception afterwards, which is funny because here we are. I kind of joke about this is something that's kind of funny to me because we're enjoying this reception, and all of a sudden there's chaos outside. The cities. There was a skit. With the you think about all this chaos and this tragedy that happens in New York, and again, these people going about their normal lives. We're just trying to live our day, walking down the street, and there's another being coming in to kill us all again. And then when he sees this going on, we take off in a very Superman like, I feel like train. He comes off the balcony, the cape hits, and we're into battle with this thing. And everybody's just standing by, woo, spectating, woo.
And then you get to the real Sam Raimi aspect of it, like I said, where the eye comes out. Yeah.
And then Wong shows up. Awesome Wong.
And the running joke is throughout the entire movie is, you're supposed to bow to ancient custom to bow to a sorcerer supreme. Yes, I know.
So anyway, I'm sorry, we're going on and on. Let's just we'll cut to some of the highlights here.
Yeah.
Well, let's go ahead and get to Brock's favorite part, the first appearance of Wanda.
Oh man.
That's why we really want to, just like this is what we're really getting to.
She had as much screen time, if not more screen time, than Doctor Strange did.
Technically, yeah.
For good reason. Elizabeth Olsen, thank you. Oh my gosh. This took a turn I didn't expect. This took a massive. Wanda took a turn, but I thought that she was going to be. The trailers were so misleading. You thought that there's another big bad in this thing.
Nope.
And you're thinking from the trailers that Wanda's going to be fighting side by side with Doctor Strange.
I never thought that. I never thought that. Not 1 second.
I did from the trailers because I honestly, I'm discovering I'm one of these fans that just don't deep dive, especially into the Marvel, because I don't have the background for Marvel. I enjoy the movies. I've read some of the comics growing up and everything else. Do I remember everything? Everybody who listens to this podcast knows I don't remember anything hardly. So I don't recall a lot of this stuff. So I'm kind of a surface level. Oh, I love this type thing. I'm not. So I'm just like, I'm happily going along. I'm a doofus. Give me Wanda. She's going to be fighting lights. No.
Yeah.
No, that's not what I was anticipating. And she just went full blown witch. And I'm like,
I'm gonna tell you, this is what that segment from when she told Strange, she went into full Scarlet Witch. This is me being reasonable up until when she attacks the I cannot think of the name of the I'm telling you, I'm forgetting the name.
Kilimanjaro.
Yeah,
whatever that was.
Either way, that whole scene when she shows up floating in the air, telling them, "Hey, give her to me, or I'm gonna take everything, doing whatever things for right." Her real father was coming out. That whole segment was like, that's Magneto's daughter right there.
That's true.
I said, that is Magneto's daughter right there.
That's absolutely true.
I was sitting there, I was going, that was like with me. I was, like I said, I probably was the biggest nerd in my screening because I was like, ooh, I see the Eric in her right there. And just keep this.
Yeah.
What clued me into something's going to go bad with her was there at the beginning when she asks, and I thankfully, I did pick this out before he referenced it when she said, "Why not bring America here?"
Yeah.
And I'm like, I got to think. I stopped and I went, "Whoa, he never said her name." Yep. And then she brings it up. Yeah, it's like, oh, something's going down. And then the landscape disappeared, and there's the dark hold. And I was like,
and with the black tips of her fingers, and oh my god!
And I was like, no, don't do this. And from what I understand, she's primarily kind of a villain in the comics.
Yeah.
And so it seems like, based on that little bit of knowledge that I've got, it seems like they've shifted her character around as Wanda becoming Scarlet Witch instead of them being both. It's like Scarlet Witch taking over Wanda. I mean, which you see at the end of WandaVision.
Well, because she even says it won't be Wanda coming; it'll be the Scarlet Witch.
Yeah.
So they're trying to divide this into basically two different characters.
Yeah.
Personality, characters, however you want to word it.
And that sticks throughout the entire movie because you got Wanda fighting in there a couple of times, and ultimately a redemption story out of this. But I got to say, I know my wife is sitting just a handful of feet away from me. And I love you. I do.
I know this.
You know how I'm about Elizabeth Olsen.
I am secure in this relationship and this marriage. Okay. No qualms. Okay.
When
we know, Brock. We know.
I know. I just got to say it. When she shows up floating in the air and getting ready to do some business. Golly, she was gorgeous.
That's powerful. It's a powerful moment for her character.
It's a good look for her.
I mean, you are not lying at all.
And she is wielding powers that we've only ever really previously seen somebody wield when they had an Infinity Stone.
Yeah.
Like that level of power where she's able to just go, yep, I'm just going to make a long distance phone call and can connect with the Wanda over here and then just start using her as a puppet to do stuff.
That was wild.
I mean, that is insane.
Yeah. That was like another little detail I picked up. You was talking about her black fingertips. I don't know if you remember, if the movie progresses on, her makeup gets heavier, and she looks more sinister as the movie goes on.
Yeah,
like some other villain that we know from a TV series that she was in WandaVision.
Oh yes, the
Agatha.
Yeah.
Agatha, who also had the tips.
I don't want to fight, but maybe thinks as we're talking Agatha, we will jump to later in the movie. I like how when he was fighting the other version of Strange, his magic book was purple. Therefore, there's the purple magic, kind of the Agatha style magic again.
I did not catch that.
I didn't think about it until you said it either. Yeah.
Yep. Okay. It's same shade, at least to my
When she finally gets through and gets into Comatage, is that I'm saying that correctly?
Yeah, Comatage. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, you got it.
When she gets trapped in there, that was just more Sam Raimi.
Was that not beautiful? That was beautiful.
I was like, we're in the cabin.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a fantastic sequence where she starts busting through the reflections.
Yeah.
My son, we saw it for the second time yesterday. My son, my son is skittish anyway. I mean, you you move a chair and he jumps.
Yeah.
That boy was jumping all over this movie. But when she popped out of the gong,
yes,
twisting in the arms.
I thought he was about to run to the restroom.
But that is so Sam Raimi.
100%.
I said I had Oliver with me, and he handled that fine. It was all the jump scare stuff that got him. So I mean,
Oh, that's what got Dave too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. My boy's a teenager. What can I say? He's got a tender heart. Literally, the doctors at UAB can tell you that. But that sequence was fantastic when she was trying to figure that out, and that just the cinematography in that scene.
Stuff like that is why I had to see it in the theater. That was one of
definitely.
Did you see it in IMAX?
No, we did the AMC Prime theaters, the one with the fancy. Yeah, it's the bigger screen. I don't know if it's an IMAX or not, but it was still very visually beautiful.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. But I tell you what was cheesy to me, and I know this probably goes with her character, and I have not seen this character in the comic. It was America. Every time she busts open a portal, it's in the shape of a star, and I thought that was cheesy.
Straight out of Mario Brothers.
Oh, look, it's a warp. I totally thought that the portal being a star was cheesy, and that's just me not knowing the character. So bamageeks@gmail.com. I may read your comments. I don't know. Or hit us up on the socials.
Well, since we're talking about punching,
I'm being completely ignorant here.
So we're going to punch into the universe. So universe was it 838 or 883? I can't remember.
838.
838.
Yeah.
I really liked when America and Doctor Strange got
the transition universes.
Going through the different universes.
It was beautiful.
Seeing the cartoon and then the noir and the paint. That was wild.
Yeah, you don't want to get caught.
You want to get stuck. Yeah.
Apparently, that's not the best one to be caught in.
Yeah, it looks fun. I'd love to see maybe at some point in time some of those universes come back into play, because I was really the one that had that dark noir cartoonish look, not the one with all the music, but the dark noir cartoon. There is for a brief second. I was like, oh, I'm interested in that.
Well, I'd say you think of Spider-Man. They had Spider-Man Noir that was in Spider-Verse, so that Noir.
Yeah. You're right.
Sorry, maybe that. Anyway,
no, it's fine.
Do you guys think that since she can go between realities and she can go between universes, that she may run into King the Conqueror at some point?
I have a feeling
at some point.
Well,
I would say she is going to be probably that might be one thing to think about. She's going to be probably a pivotal part of taking care of Kane.
You would think so.
Or she may show up in Loki season 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because she just pops in and goes, "Hi, I'm so and so."
Yeah, and I'm really interested in at the end of the movie where they were taking her.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm interested in seeing that, because
let's talk about she is the needle in the haystack of the multiverse. There's only one of her. That's one thing women think about it. We have
why is there only one of her?
That's something I'm curious.
That's the thing. It's like, why is there only one of her?
Yeah.
It's kind of like Kang in a way. It's like, there were more of him, but now they're not. It's just him. Yeah. As far as we know. So maybe it's going to be like the Oracle and the Architect in Matrix.
Yeah.
Where they're like she's just as powerful as he is, but they're just different parts of the program.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, this phase that we're in right now in this particular, MCU, I mean, it's getting it's a little more complicated than previous ones.
But I will say that this movie made a lot of sense to me.
Well, yeah, no, absolutely.
I enjoyed it. It made a lot of Moon Knight didn't make hardly any sense to me. I know I'm probably an outlier here. I didn't like Moon Knight.
I got to watch it. So
the last 2 episodes I tolerated a lot better than I did the first handful. I didn't like Moon Knight. I'm interested in him as a character. I'm not interested in how they told his story. That's what
I could see that. I might have loved it. I loved it. I love the way it was, and we get to see the third character at the very end there, and how he's going to be. The thing is Moon Knight's also in some of the comics was also portrayed as a villain. So he could potentially come into the scene, into somebody else's story as a villain.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, see, I'm interested in that way. It's just the way they told his story during this series. I was like, I didn't like it. I'm not a big fan of a lot of the mysticism that we're heading into.
Mm-hmm.
That being said,
but that's a huge part of Marvel, though. That's a big thing.
And that's why I'm sticking with it. I know we did a couple episodes ago, or we're getting tired of Marvel. I'm interested to see where this is going because there's another Wanda floating out there somewhere. We know she's in the universes.
Yeah.
And we'll get to that in a minute. I gotta have more of her. She's my favorite character in the Marvel universe. At least in the MCU, because I'm ignorant of a lot of the comics, I admit. But so yeah, this movie made more sense to me as far as jumping through the universes and everything than Moon Knight did. Moon Knight confused me. This movie made sense to me, and I love this movie a ton more.
Yeah, but Moon Knight was also kind of separated away from everything else too. It did its own thing, whereas this was. Well, yeah, but this one was rooted in, and it had other characters. Yeah, even the director of Moon Knight was stating that he was really glad that they were able to do this as its own standalone thing, which kind of served well for it. But at the same time, and with the way you saw it, it kind of it might have been better if it had been rooted a little more in MCU.
Yeah, but watching the dream walking and dream jumping and everything was a fascinating concept to me. I have to, and this goes we're going back to the Sam Raimi thing. Yeah, when Scarlet Witch first jumped into Wanda, where she's going into the kitchen, and she glances up and sees herself in the mirror, or not the mirror, but the photo. Yeah, in the photo, and then she sees herself in the window, and just that bong, that type of music, and
the lighting.
Sam Raimi.
That's
completely.
I was waiting for a deer head to turn and start laughing at it. That's what I was waiting for.
And he probably filmed that.
Or
did the CG for that. They were like, no, Sam.
We can't do that.
And both of my kids, like I said, my daughter saw it without us this weekend.
No.
My son saw it, and I had to tell both of them, when you get older, I want you to watch it. When you get much older, you can watch Evil Dead and understand where this movie came from. Because both my kids, my daughter was like, okay, now it's growing on me that I've given it some time to simmer. My son was absolutely, I didn't like this movie.
And Dave was like, I don't think I'm ever going to watch Evil Dead. So he was already decided. I don't think I'm ever going to watch that.
Said, when you get older, you get past that age of being able to handle things like this, then watch Evil Dead. You understand this is a straight up, this is where it came from.
This was a pretty heavy dose of Sam Raimi. And the thing is
and it was beautiful.
And the thing is if you look back to Spider-Man, that wasn't like crazy over the top heavy Sam Raimi. So it was a little more palatable. This is pretty heavy. Sam Raimi influence on this. It was huge. So and he's wonderful. He can be an acquired taste for some people.
And I loved it. I loved every moment of it.
If you love Sam Raimi, though, you're going to love the movie. Oh, yeah. I mean, seriously.
And and then the debate's out there right now. Should this have been a PG-13 movie? We're really pushing the boundaries. People feel like it's really pushing the boundaries of the rating system.
No, it should have been PG-13.
It really should have.
And I know
where she's coming out of the gong. Yeah, that whole scary moment right there. That should have been PG-13 right there.
Yeah, I think which is probably what a lot of people are going to say. They're going to enforce the R rating is what I want to talk about. Is of course with let's go ahead and get to the best part of this movie. The freaking Illuminati.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Characters of people I've wanted to see in a Marvel cinematic movie since day one.
Yeah. So we come to learn of the Illuminati after they have traveled through all these different universes and they've landed on this particular Earth.
And people have to understand the Illuminati in Marvel is a lot different than this crazy conspiracy theory of the Rothschilds, the Gettys, the Pentaverate.
Well, I mean,
we're way better than the Illuminati. They're a bunch of crackpots.
Because I'm referencing So I Married an Axe Murderer.
And the lineup's a little bit different. There's 2 people on the comic version, Illuminati, that's not in this version. The 2 that's in the comics is, of course, Iron Man and Namor, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Ultron bots threw me off. With not having any sign of Iron Man around, the Ultron guys were like...
Ultron's more Fantastic Four in the comics.
Yes.
Oh, is he?
So, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
It makes more sense with it being in the Baxter building or the Baxter Foundation, which this Christine works for.
And you know, Brock, you were all about having Scarlet Witch and your girl, but then Captain Carter showed up. And Haley Atwell, I have such a mad crush on that woman, and I have had for a long while.
Hey,
and as soon as she showed up, I was like, and by the way, Brock, another what if?
Yeah, we knew about that.
We knew. And plus, I really think they did a disservice by showing her in that final trailer.
Yeah,
I didn't see the final. I only saw the first one.
I saw her. Yeah, her shield when she came back. And her shield showed. And I'm like, you spoiled that.
Did y'all all lose it like me when she told Wanda that she could do this all day?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. And Wanda said, nope, fatality.
So we get, presented with this council of the Illuminati, which we learned how they were formed and why they were formed.
Yep.
So we start going through who the members are and tie into our previous subject. The role of Black Bolt was played by Anson Mount, who is our Christopher Pike in Strange New Worlds, which didn't know that until afterwards because the man's got a mask on the whole time and he doesn't talk. So that was a surprise to me when I learned who played him.
And then Wanda pulls an Agent Smith on him.
So moving down our little Illuminati panel, and we learn that Monica Rambeau is the Captain Marvel of this universe, and then the smartest man in the world.
Why did he transport it? I mean, granted, probably to keep the surprise, but he transported in.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, hi.
Oh, hi. Hi, Reed Richards. Oh my
John.
Our entire
John Krasinski.
on our showing the first time at 10 o'clock that morning.
Yeah.
The entire theater.
It was great. Cheered. It was wonderful.
Oh, because it's been such a great fan casting that people introduced it. Like when somebody introduced to me, I was like, oh my gosh, that's perfect. Oh,
total fan casting, total fan service on that, and I'm happy with that.
Was there for all of it.
And then they kept us a little bit like, of course, for the trailers we all heard Patrick Stewart's voice, and then and then like I said,
to actually see him, only see him,
wheel in.
Not even will. He floated in. He is actually in the chair that he is in the animated series and in the comics.
And then I'm throwing in the little
oh my god,
that was great.
I knew he was going to be in there, but I flipped out at that. The fact that he was in the chair,
the way they brought him in.
Oh my god,
yeah.
I was like, I gasped, and it was like happy, and Oliver looked at me. He's like, Dad, why does that make you so happy? I said, I will fix that. I will explain to you later. Just watch.
Boy, it's time to watch some more episodes.
Yes.
And also when he was envisioning things and using his mind powers, and you saw the little waves come out of his head.
Yes. It was. They were
90s,
channeling everything, and if they can continue to do that when they actually do introduce the X-Men instead of his, I like to call it the tease Illuminati, because this is in a different universe, and we don't. I mean, it's like, well, okay, well, fine. How are you actually going to do the X-Men? Would you give us the X-Men already?
Here's the thing that's going around, and this is a lot of debate going on in this subject. So as we in Spider-Man, we had the 3 versions of Peter Parker, and they all look different.
Yeah.
But all the Doctor Stranges, the different versions of him in this movie look the same. So
all the Wandas look the same.
All the Wandas look the same. So everybody's like, oh, this mean, no, well, they're talking about John Krasinski playing, Mr. Fantastic, Reed Richards. Well, it doesn't mean that he's going to be a Reed Richards if they do that.
There will be a riot because the internet, which is never wrong.
Yes.
They're on fire about this.
Have been pushing John Krasinski since before we even knew.
Yeah.
And if John only did this as a one-off and they recast somebody else,
oh my god,
the internet will react.
But John's a busy guy. He is moving into the director territory now, so I mean, I can understand that.
Yeah,
but
this is their way to get out of it. If it doesn't happen, and I guess they're covering their bases.
But I mean, his wife Emily Blunt can come in and play the invisible. Yeah, she can be Sue Storm, no problem.
Now, see, this is where I'm going to tell you. All right.
And you bring Chris Evans back in as the Human Torch, but anyway. So.
There you go.
Okay,
No.
I'll back off of that.
Let Cap be an old man.
All right. Yes. Now, see, this is where I'm curious what'll happen here if you want to go into the whole multiverse thing. All right. The whole thing is Wanda trying to get her children, get a version of her children.
Right.
Well, she is this version of Reed says, "I have children of my own."
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
And in the comics, his son Franklin is a very powerful being that is like up there with like at one point like Thanos and Galactus try to recruit him.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's the son. So if they decide to do some kind of maybe. I doubt like they will, but if his version of Franklin decides, hey, this Wanda kind of, disintegrated my dad into spaghetti, maybe I need some payback. So you never know.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, do yourself a favor. Look up Franklin Richards.
Okay.
Yeah.
He is one of the powerful kids characters of Marvel. Do yourself a favor.
And also remember, guys, and unless I'm mistaken, since they have Fantastic Four now, they also have Silver Surfer.
Yeah, they have the rights. I think they're
yeah.
So they have the rights back to Galacticus, then they have Silver Surfer. They have all that stuff back. So it's a matter of like they could do anything. I just want freaking X-Men, guys. Stop teasing us.
Well, you're not the only one, man. It is being clamored after right now.
And I want Gambit, man.
This is why Wanda and Scarlet Witch has to come back into this realm, because she's got to utter her words, no more mutants.
Mm-hmm.
That's the line she's kind of famous for.
Yeah.
Well, everyone keeps saying you never saw her body, so therefore, you never saw a body. So technically, Wanda, she might just be, buried.
Well, and there is the, Agatha's coming back too into this thing. So who knows? She could play a part in Wanda coming back. I don't know.
And I realize we've really jumped to the end.
Hi.
But yeah, we got to go back to Stephen Strange.
Yes,
being able to come back into his he's got to come back into his universe.
Well, before we go there, do we want to talk about that battle scene? Do we want to talk about how Wanda just busted in there and just broke bad on everybody? And
we do. We absolutely do.
I mean,
because
hey, look.
I don't care that she had half her face messed up with oil or something. She looked good.
You guys, this tells you how powerful Wanda is. Think about this. This is Wanda projecting her consciousness onto another version of herself in another universe, and she is still killing things in her mind. Yeah,
that's like, that's what I was saying earlier. It's like we haven't seen power like this since somebody wielded an Infinity Stone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
this is even greater than that.
Yeah,
yeah. And jumping back to, does this movie, should they have taken it to an R rating? I mean, you didn't see. I'm sorry, Kevin. You did not see, Captain Carter get sliced in half.
But
you saw the shield, and you saw her. That, and then Black Bolt.
His head caved in.
What mouth?
Yeah. But I think that's why you don't venture into the R territory with this movie, because Black Bolt, his head implodes. I mean, it's a poof. And the same thing with Mr. Fantastic, is his brain is more of a little pink poof.
Yeah.
It was very quick. He just became all spaghettified, and boy, she projecting her consciousness, and she manhandled every one of them.
And she also snapped Xavier's neck. So.
Well, and the fact that she was able. The fact that she was able to, he went into her head,
her mind,
and then she was able to take to the one of the greatest mutants ever. Was able
for his
to
mind
even
power.
override him and then bring him out, and then snap him, you know.
But that was not Charles Xavier.
Oh no, are you gonna say this?
This was not Charles Xavier, and that it entered into her mind.
Mm-hmm.
That was a really old version of Steve Jobs.
There you go. I was gonna say that was
the black
weird
turtleneck,
the black turtleneck and the jeans.
sweater.
Okay, I got
That
you.
was Steve Jobs. That was not Charles Xavier.
Well, I think that was also another throwback to the X-Men animated series. That was usually like his kind of like cliche costume out of his jacket.
I'm telling you, Raimi has got to be a huge fan of that. That was got to be the reason that was all in it.
This makes me hope. I hope he does some form of live action of the X-Men of the '90s X-Men. That's
oh my god. Maybe he'll be involved because they're doing another animated. Season,
they're doing
right?
yeah.
So maybe Raimi will be involved in that. I don't know. That'd be nice.
It's like you wanted to hand the Russo brothers every version of the Avengers. Mm-hmm. Give them everything to do with all the Avengers team up movies.
No.
With all the multiverse stuff that I'm seeing, give it to Sam Raimi.
Yeah.
Just let him run with every bit
He seems
of
to
this.
do a really good job with it. I mean, this was a good CV for him. It was, I mean, he did a phenomenal job handling all of that.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully this just means will he make Bruce Campbell his Stan Lee if he's doing the movies.
Let's bring him back every time.
Please.
Well, and before we go a little further, we'll just touch on the fact that the Illuminati basically explained to that Doctor Strange what had happened and why they feel the line was said the biggest threat to the multiverse is Doctor Strange.
Right.
And where we learned where he had dabbled into the dark hold and he was doing the dream walking, and this is they were trying to defeat the Thanos of their universe. But where and they had to make him out to be a hero just to kind of give, like I said, everybody needs a hero. And unfortunately he was not the hero. He was not truly the hero of that universe.
Well, and this is also in the same sequence where they say, "That's the Wanda. We can handle her.
Oh yeah,
not a big deal." And then she comes in and wrecks them all.
Yeah.
One thing,
I'll settle this with my vote when they get back. They ain't coming back.
They go.
They gone. I also
we learned they had to kill that version of their Doctor Strange because of the fact that he had dabbled into the Darkhold and the dream walking and the things that he was doing that he felt was of the greater good. But
I'm sorry.
Yeah. I like how they repaired our Strange's or 616 Strange's cape with a piece of that Strange's cape. I don't know if you notice, it gives it more of his cartoon, his comic look. I was like, as soon as I saw that first time, I was like, oh, I see what they're doing there.
Yeah.
Now this makes me think though, Christine is worried about incursions, but yet she patched his cape up with a piece of cape from another alternate dimension. So she's kind of, I don't know, was she working against herself? I don't know.
Well, she's she was very untrusting of him but they all get out there together. They all get away from Wanda and they come to the end of where where he held, the book, the book of Ashani, where he had hid that in that universe because this is what we're told that this is the book they need to obtain because the sorcerer can use what they need, whatever power they need from this book. Of course, Wanda catches up to them, and then she opens up a portal. She's got America. She opens up a portal that sends Christine and Strange to this other universe
where the incursions.
And this was odd. The reality had fallen. The world fallen in on itself, and all these images. This was for as haunting as it was. Visually, it was beautiful. For being as haunting as it was.
Is this the one where he ran into the evil?
Yes, this is where.
You guys need to watch What If.
Yeah.
Okay.
Seriously, you need to watch that episode, and you'll understand.
Well, here's where I thought they were paying a nice tribute to Danny Elfman, who did a wonderful job.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because Danny got to play around with that fight scene in his own because it was different having them fight each other with musical notes.
Yes.
Strange versus Strange. That was weird. But at the same time, it was like, that's kind of cool because they gave Danny Elfman the ability to play around with the score during that time.
What a great use of his skills.
Yeah, it was like, to me, that was kind of a small tribute to Danny Elfman in my mind.
Yeah.
In my universe.
So the battle takes place. He's off, and it's discovered that he's going to have the dark hold, that he's going to have to dream walk at this point.
Oh.
He's got no other choice. This is how it's going to have to be.
But you have to go into that universe's version
That's
of you,
right.
and you're here. I didn't say you had to be living.
Yeah. Oh.
And then Sam Raimi just did Sam Raimi
Absolutely.
even more.
100%.
This was fantastic to me.
Yeah.
Just seeing that. Oh my gosh. The dead Doctor Strange, dead Defender Strange coming back to life was the jerks and the twists and everything else, the movements,
the demons and everything.
Yeah, it's like Kevin's favorite
they
part.
made a cloak out of it.
Yes.
Right.
Oh man, that was like, I hope they make some kind of figure of that or whatever, because I will definitely buy that.
Yeah,
that was as peak Sam Raimi in the movie as you can get. That was full exposure. Evil Dead.
Yeah.
He just took him out of the Trojan horse, dropped him right in front of us, and said, "By the way, this is Evil Dead 4. Check it out."
All the demons' voices and mannerisms. Yeah.
But it was nice to see, you know, when all the fighting and everything is happening, and you know, they think that Strange is going to have to, you know, when Wong tells him, you got to take America's powers, you know, you've got this nasty, gnarly, dead corpse.
Yeah.
You know, going up to her and being, oh, such a sweet, nice man. I'm not going to kill you. Do this yourself. You know, that was beautiful in its own way.
But we also get to see the birth of a hero right there.
Yeah.
I mean, she becomes
her moment.
She becomes this. She ceases to be this scared girl who has powers that she's like fire starter. She doesn't know how they work or whatever. And then now she's full on like, yeah, I'm gonna, you know, kick tail as a hero.
Yeah.
That was really cool to see.
It was, and I love the fact that she was able to show Wanda that, you know, yeah, you don't have kids in this universe, but look at the love and the care that they're getting elsewhere. And look at the crap you're going to cause now that they've seen you being this way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and that right there was Wanda's redemption of, okay, I can't be this selfish to destroy these children's lives and other universes. And then she went and she destroyed all the Darkholds.
It was a heartbreak to her for them to see her as a monster.
Exactly. And that's
and Brian mentioned
this the reset button.
This is why, and I mentioned long ago in this episode that I had a phrase I've been saying in the group chat. That's why I kept saying Wanda did no wrong.
That's right.
Wanda did no wrong. It's because Scarlet Witch was doing the wrong. Wanda was just infiltrated.
But she ended up doing the right thing.
She dabbled in the dark side, just like Doctor Strange.
Wanda did
just like Doctor Strange. It's I mean, reference Star Wars. Look at Anakin.
Yeah,
Anakin did no wrong. That boy, he mowed down younglings.
The best way to
look. I'm not against that. I'm just kidding.
You're not against mowing down younglings.
There's the great saying.
It depends on how much they. It depends on if they come up with a stupid ice cream song.
Ice cream will be good. Oh
you know,
gosh, the ice cream song.
I'm sorry. Anyway. The two kids, Tommy and Billy from this kids annoy me. But I love Wanda.
The highway to hell is paved in good intentions, my friend.
It is, isn't it?
Very much so.
Yeah, we'll quote Obi-Wan here and saying, you know, it's from a certain point of view. I mean, good and evil is always up to whether it's your point of view that it's good or evil or not.
Yeah.
You know, so in her case, she decided to start, you know, at the end of what was it, WandaVerse. She's in there and she's full on reading the Darkhold. She, you know, life is a series of choices. I say that to everybody. She made the choice to dabble in the dark. Doctor Strange made the choice to open and use the same book. So, and now he's got a third eye.
Well, I mean, well,
that's what you get, buddy.
Well, when presented with the option to get what you want in another world where you can have everything you want, it's easy to go down a darker path.
Yeah.
I mean,
it is.
On Earth 616, Wanda took that path. On Earth 838, in another life, Doctor Strange did too. Yeah. So sometimes the difference between a hero and a villain is living with what you've done, same as everyone else who must live with what you've done. So,
well, my love for Elizabeth Olsen knows no bounds, and that's why I say Wanda did no wrong.
Yeah, it's all justified.
Well, hey, Brock. Yeah. But she did. I'm sorry, dude. She did.
Well,
but she
he even said Wanda did the right thing. She destroyed, she destroyed the temple. She destroyed the Darkholds and all the universe. So she's
maybe a Wanda.
Well, she was also Scarlet Witch when she did that too, by the way. That.
Yeah, she did. She did kill a few people.
She was Scarlet Witch when she decided to destroy all of the other.
But hey, according to Doctor Strange, when he buried the zombie there in the beginning of the movie, he says he's done. He's buried worse. What are you talking about there, bud? Where are you going with that, man?
Okay, well, maybe Wanda in another universe did that.
Well, there you go. You can get that out.
Yeah.
I got to justify Elizabeth Olsen in this. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Well, maybe think also with ladies in this movie, where are we going with Charlize Theron? Which, by the way, we got to figure out what voodoo magic she's using to remain ageless, because it is ridiculous.
Dude, it's called money,
budget.
Yeah. Marvel's budget.
Marvel's budget.
Charlize Theron's a good-looking lady. You're talking in general, like
they have
in general, yes.
They have DH Michael Douglas and Robert Downey Jr. Okay,
yeah,
that is true. That is true.
Yeah,
Kurt Russell. Yeah,
Kurt Russell. Yeah.
No, I legitimately think that's her, and it's money.
Yeah,
that's the whole thing. It's money.
It's the same thing whenever you go to AMC theaters and you see the preview with Nicole Kidman, and she's telling you about the magic of the movies, and she doesn't have a wrinkle on her face. I'm like, yeah, okay.
Forget about that. I want that to go away. Can that please go away, AMC?
Yeah, I'm a little tired of that.
Yeah.
Along with that, no, I ain't gonna say it. We're not gonna open that can of worms. I'm gonna hush about previous trailers we saw before the movie. But anyway.
Oh.
Okay.
No. That could be its own episode.
Yeah, we're not going that way. Anyway.
Did we have already to see 20 minutes of Maverick, Top Gun Maverick?
And another trailer. But anyway, like I said, we're not going that direction. No, it's already we're 2.5 hours into this recording, and we gotta shut this thing down.
So
shut this all down.
So we got an opening, and then we got our after credit scenes, and then we finally got to see 3 weeks later Bruce Campbell stop punching himself.
Stop! It's over.
I'm so glad.
And totally, he's Ash. I mean,
that's
just the way he was acting. Oh, man, come on, man!
I'm so thankful.
Just let Sam Raimi do another Evil Dead movie or something.
We have to. I'm so thankful that a few years ago, Jess and I got to finally meet Bruce Campbell, and that man is a delight.
He's on my want to meet list so bad.
Oh, he's so funny.
Awesome,
such
dude.
a delight. Oh man, love Bruce Campbell.
Although I will say it was funny to see him come back after he did the Evil Dead,
the Evil Dead series,
the series, and then once that ended, he's like that. Well, Ash is dead. Ash is gone now. I'm done. That's not a character anymore. He says, he was, and then we get this, and it's like. Okay, you didn't say your name, but I know who you are. You might as well just put your hand up, and there's no hand there.
Yeah.
But it would be in the other universe, so maybe he didn't get his hand logged off.
So, last question for you guys. Last couple of questions. Do we see when is the next time we see Doctor Strange, and will we see Wanda, aka Scarlet Witch, again?
I think it's going to be a while before we see Scarlet Witch again, but I think we'll see Doctor Strange here very, very soon.
Yeah, he'll probably be another, how he showed up in either Thor or in Spider-Man. He's not going to be his own movie, but he'll be back in something.
Well, they've already. Benedict Cumberbatch has already been quoted in saying that he'd like to play Doctor Strange another 10 years.
Yeah,
he's perfectly fine playing him. So I mean, they're and Disney hears stuff like that, they're going to be like, "All right, cool. You're going to be the anchor for other movies."
At the end of the credits, it did say Doctor Strange will return. We just where.
Yep.
Don't know.
Please don't be Eternals too.
But I hate that I had to say that first, Brock. I don't think you're going to see Wanda for a while.
And that's fine. That's fine. I've got great memories of her. She'll live on my wall with an autographed picture. And I've got for our YouTube viewers, thank you for hanging as long as you have. You know, I've got her right here, and I've also got Hot Toy on the way and other things.
Truly hot toy, huh?
I love Scarlet Witch. If y'all didn't know, I love Elizabeth Olsen. Surprise. I do think we'll see her again. Yeah. But it's going to be a while, which is fine.
I think I was going to say, I'm just going to say, I think she's going to have something to do with Agatha, somehow coming up.
Yeah, so. I agree. I mean, those two are tied together so well. And it's, well, I said that was the last question. I guess the last thing, where are we heading with the next big bad villain? We had Thanos. Who's next?
Well, we keep thinking it's going to be Kang. I know a lot of people are clamoring for Galactus.
I'm Team Galactus also. I think, but they've got to do the Fantastic Four correctly before they do Galactus.
Fantastic Four's movie's not coming out for another 2 or 3 years. Is that right? Yep. It's going to be a while.
Well, I mean, Kang is kind of like Kang is hanging there, but it seems like they're not doing anything with him because he was kind of like a Loki thing.
Well, he's going to be in the. He's in the I think he's involved in the Ant-Man movie.
Okay.
I keep forgetting they're coming out with another one.
Yeah.
I mean,
let's see. Strange and Ant-Man are my favorite 2 MCU characters. They have been my favorite versions of them.
I mean, right now we're in a phase where, you know, our heroes, you know, across both film and television, you know, you got them working. You got some work to save in the sacred timeline, while others are fighting off incursions caused by, you know, the multiple variations of themselves. You know, hey, the past and the future, I mean, it can be toyed with, erased, or completely reset at this point, you know, in what we're dealing with. So, who knows?
The MCU will outlive all of us. I thoroughly believe. But, you know, next up, we got Thor: Love and Thunder in July.
Oh, my gosh.
This is another one, too.
We'll discuss that later.
My God, I'm so stoked for that movie.
Oh, it's gonna be great. It's gonna be.
This is another one that's just given us the first trailer that's a taste. There's no telling, as a result, you know, speaking of this Doctor Strange trailer, the first one, you don't know what you're up against yet with this Thor situation. So
and we'll discuss that at a later date because we don't know that much right now.